Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. As I hit live in all the places. And as you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. And give me just a moment. All right. So now let me pull this up on my phone. All right. Where are we? Bear with me just a second. There we go. Well, now let me pull this up on my phone. All right. I think this is the right one. It's so funny since I do these all the time. When something pops up, I have to look. What am I wearing in the picture? All right. So beautiful. So glad you're here. And like I said, as you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. And I am going to go ahead and just jump right in. And I'm sorry for the delay. I was in the middle of recording a little mini hypnosis, and I was listening back to make sure it was right, and then all of a sudden the end of it was not there. So I thought, oh, start over. So I went ahead and deleted that, and then all of a sudden I looked at the clock. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have time to do that right now. I'll come back to it. All right. So here we go. Our affirmation for today is: I am filled with joyful anticipation for the amazing adventures and limitless possibilities that are magnetically drawn to me today. And I'll say I feel that way myself right now this morning, as I'm going to be a guest on Ryan Montes's brand new podcast in just a little bit. And I'm working on creating these hypnosis audios. The first one I'm doing is about sleep. So if you're needing some help with sleep, just let me know and I'll send this to you right away. But I will be sharing them out. And then yesterday I completed the series of meditation. There's 5 of them, and I completed the last one, got it set and published. And so it just feels like everything is all coming together. It's beautiful. So I'd love to know, how is it working for you right now? Are you feeling the magnetic connection that you have with things that are going on? And the second part of this is, I welcome them with an open heart and a curious spirit. Because the thing is that even though things are magnetically coming to you, it doesn't mean that you know exactly how things are going to pan out. And, sometimes things that are coming to us are helping us to pivot to a new place, right? So just be open and curious, because it's all happening to help you to get where you want to go, provided that you have a clear path, you have a clear idea of what that is. You have a clear intention, because just like your GPS cannot take you to a specific restaurant that you want to go, if you just say, I want to go to this town, but you haven't told it which restaurant you want to go to, it's not going to get you there. And so a lot of times we have such a general idea, or we don't even know. We just keep changing our mind about what we want. So it's time to get clear, right? And then become so full of joyful anticipation that everything is amazing that's starting to happen. Your adventures, the things that you learn, and the people you come in contact with, the limitless possibilities that are drawn to you, the synchronicities that begin to happen, the clarity that you get in the movement. Because one of the things that's really important is, remember, the only constant in life is change. So we're either changing on purpose or we're changing by default. And what default means is we're just kind of willy-nilly, whatever, just being tossed around by the high seas. And there's no telling where we'll end up because we're not even giving our GPS a definite direction. So it's just going to go and it's going to have you moving through life with all of your old limiting beliefs, the old stories that you've had, and you're going to just sink into that space. Now, granted, a lot of people aren't aspiring to have these big businesses, or they're not aspiring to be a coach or to do all these different things. But still, even if you don't have these aspirations of creating business and those things, you want to go through life filled with love and joy and happiness and spirit, right? So no matter whether it's you're wanting to have these businesses or not, you still want to be and do the things that you want to do in life. And the thing is if you're not on purpose clearly stating to yourself and to God and the universe, I want to grow. I want to have a magnificent life until it's not here anymore. I want it to be so amazing. If you're not talking like that and actually being open to it and anticipating it, you're going to fall back into that old place where you've probably been. If you're like most of us, you've been before, where it's like you feel that there's got to be more to life than this. Why does this keep happening to me? Don't stay there. But if you don't make a decision to do something different, it's going to be there or further back. You get to choose. And so this is how you begin. And remember, I am statements are ultra powerful because you are claiming that to be your life. That is who you are. Now, I cannot say that strongly enough. You're claiming it to be you, and your subconscious mind starts looking for, okay, let me find evidence of that everywhere, right? So that's why when you're going through your day and you are saying, I am, you need to pay attention to what those I am statements you are making. Start logging them, writing them down so that you can be more aware of what you're claiming in your life. And this is something that even no matter who you are, you still have to think about this sometimes, because there are times with me, I will have an I am statement. And as soon as it comes out of my mouth, I think, oh, I don't want that in my life. So I take it back. Cancel. That's not a good one. Let me rephrase that. And then I say it in a different way, so that it's more empowering and it's not me claiming something. So like when people I had a client the other day that first things out of her mouth was, she said, I am. And then she starts telling me all the things that are wrong in her life. And it was like, oh my gosh, let's back up a minute. So I helped her and I said, let's just rephrase some of this. Okay. You are not dying from this. And it wasn't really a health issue she said she was dying from. It was some emotional stuff, right? I said, that's not what you want to say. Let's rephrase that to be, I feel this way, but I'm going to feel better. And so it was just rephrasing things. So when you can become even more aware of what your I am statements are, you can rephrase them to be more powerful things in your life. Because you certainly do not, like this woman, she said she was dying, right, from this. And, people say these candid things, or these, in passing little statements like, you're killing me, but they're putting I am, right? And so the thing for her was, when we rephrased it, she even felt better and calmer in the moment. But before that, her subconscious mind was looking for all the evidence everywhere of how she was dying. Is that what you really want to be having your subconscious mind searching for? Hell no, right? So be mindful. So back to the affirmation. I'll get off my soapbox. I am filled with joyful anticipation for the amazing adventures and limitless possibilities that are magnetically drawn to me today and every day, right? I welcome them with an open heart and a curious spirit. When you can have an open heart and a curious spirit in all of this, delicious, I'm telling you. I got a piece of fuzz on my face. All right, so now, and remember, you put this on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, your sticky notes, you put it somewhere that you will see it today so that you are reminded. And one of the things I cannot say enough is start paying attention to what you have coming out of your mouth after you say the words I am, because that is a game changer. And in the beginning, don't even try to change it. Just as soon as it comes out, just write it down and start looking at what those statements are. And any of them that are showing up as negative statements or not empowering statements, you're going to really, really start paying attention to those so that when they come out of your mouth, you change it. That will change your life. I'm telling you, and it'll show up very quickly. All right. So you have to excuse my allergies are going crazy because we just had yesterday, there was a record breaking, never been so high pollen alert. I don't even remember how much it was, but when I walk out of my house, there is so much pollen everywhere that you leave footprints. It's almost footprints in the snow, but it's in the pollen. It's intense, but I love the beautiful flowers. I love the way they look. I love listening to the birds and the way it feels in the spring. So I'm just dealing with it, right? All right, so let me grab the journal prompt and let's see. I want to make sure it all shows up. So let me take this off and let's just see what happens. All right, so not all of it shows up because I was a little heavy-handed on this, but I will put it in the description of the video in the Stand Up and Stand Out community, because that's where this begins. And even though I stream it out to YouTube and Instagram, you guys are what started this. All right, so our journal prompt for today: what would it feel like to fully trust that everything unfolding today is happening for you, for me? How would that feel to fully trust? List 3 exciting possibilities you'd love to call in and write about how you'd feel if they arrived with ease and joy. So I love this journal prompt. This one is really tapping in and pulling out some really important information for you, right? So as I always say, get your journal out, your notebook out, put the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt because they go together. All right. And then you're going to say this out loud with feeling. You're going to set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're going to be sitting in total silence. And I know I say this every single time, but it bears repeating, especially because there may be some people watching that haven't been part of this before. But when you sit in silence, you have this ability to connect with your inner guidance, your God voice, in a way that you cannot do when you just set the timer and you listen to something, or you just sit and just say this mantra over and over and again, because your mind is going to start wandering. That's just the nature of it, right? And your conscious mind is constantly going to be saying, okay, wait a minute, you said you were going to do this and we haven't done that yet. We need to make sure we're going to do this. And you just start, the chatter will go crazy. So as soon as you notice, because if you're like most of us, you can be thinking, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And then suddenly you realize you've gone down this rabbit hole of all these things you're thinking about. And as soon as you notice it and you think, how long have I been doing that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. You go back into listening to your breath, just knowing that it is perfectly normal for your mind to just start wandering. And you just start thinking about all the things that you haven't done, you need to do, you should have done, so a conversation you had last week. It doesn't matter. It's natural for that to happen. So you just want to tap back into your breath. And I have found a lot of times I may have such a to-do list or things on my mind so much that I have a little bit of a hard time getting back to just focusing on my breath. So what I do and what helps me is I will start labeling sounds in the space where I'm at. Maybe I can hear, sometimes I can hear like a leaf blower outside. Not today because the pollen is so bad, you wouldn't want to do that. But maybe like sometimes I can when I'm in the office, I can hear the hum of my computer. Sometimes I can hear my ceiling fan, or I can hear, I've got some chimes in a copper bowl downstairs that I can hear those chimes. And maybe I can hear, I have a cat and a dog. Maybe I can hear them moving around. But I just bring my focus to the sound. And as I label them, it takes me out of the chatter because you can't think two thoughts simultaneously. So it brings you back to your breath and your calm space out of the chatter. You just keep doing that for however long you need to, because you don't have to be thinking what this journal prompt is, because your subconscious mind already knows. You've told it. It doesn't need to keep saying it over and over again. No, it's listening, it's thinking, it's, assessing during the silent space. And then when your timer goes off, you're going to pick up your pencil or your pen and you're just going to start writing. And it may start with, I don't know what to say. I don't know what the answer is. I do not know. I do not know. You can start there. Is this really working? I tell you, when I first started doing this, I did a little bit of that first because it felt like I couldn't connect. But once you've done this, and you've really tapped into the silence, there's a connection, a wiring from your subconscious mind to your heart coming out your hand. And the things that will start being written down are coming from deep inside, the deep knowing, your God voice, your subconscious, your inner guidance. And the words that flow can be so impactful. But if it's not the first time you do it, just relax and just let it flow. Just whatever comes up, right? You want to brain dump anything that is going on, anything that seems like, oh, I'm going to write that down. And then even if there's a thought that pops up and you say, well, that sounds silly, I'm not going to write that down. Write it down anyway. Just brain dump anything, because this wiring, this connection through your body, your mind, your heart, your hand, it has such deep, deep connection that your conscious mind cannot get to. And we're trying to get to that inner flow. So whatever comes up, don't judge it, just write it down, because it's only for you. Nobody else has to see it, right? So what would it feel like to fully trust that everything unfolds today is happening for me? Ooh, write down, what are all the feelings? What are the things that show up as you think about that? What would it feel like? I mean, that's pretty intense, right? Can you imagine that you go through today and that everything that happens, every conversation you have, everything you see on TV, anything you see on YouTube, any conversation you have from a friend or a neighbor, if you see something outside, everything is unfolding for you. And when you really, really tap into that, you're going to notice these little things that seem so insignificant have a great impact. They have a great message. One of my friends, I did some hypnosis with her. And one of the things that kept happening to her was after this hypnosis, and she was more aware of the signs everywhere, right? she started noticing that, you know how you go down the road and there's these billboards up and they're electronic, right? So it has different messages and everything. And she said she started noticing that every time she got on the street, and it was at different times, so it wasn't like it was synchronized at the same time, but every time she would get almost to that billboard, it would change to this inspirational message just for her. So think about that. She noticed after our hypnosis, she began to notice it. But she said when she thought back, she thought it popped up every now and then before. But once we did this hypnosis and she was becoming more aware of all the synchronicities in her life, the messages that were there, she said that's when she noticed it every single time she got in front of that. And so maybe there's been messages showing up for you, but you haven't noticed. And so it may be not as big as a billboard, but it's maybe, when you get on social media that somebody says something or there's a video that pops up. And I know a lot of people will say, well, it's the algorithm. It knows what you want and what you like. But still, what are the chances that you got on there right then? And what are the chances that you paid attention to it? So all of these are synchronicities. Pay attention. You have someone, you overhear a conversation at the grocery store and it's exactly what you needed to hear. Or somebody that you don't even know says, oh my gosh, I love your energy today. Message. So pay attention, right? So how would it feel if your day was unfolding just like that? How would it feel? And then list 3 exciting possibilities you'd love to call in. What are 3 things that you have been thinking about that, if that would happen, right? I know I used to have the statement, well, I'd be so happy if that, but the thing is that I recognize now that's not where happiness comes from. I have to be happy first. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, I feel so happy and joyful right now and would love to call in this thing. So it just switches it around. The happiness doesn't come from the thing. It comes from within. And that allows you to call in the thing, right? So list 3 exciting possibilities you'd love to call in. And then write about how you'd feel if they arrived with ease, joy, and happiness. Ooh. How would it feel if they arrived with ease, joy, and happiness? How exciting is that to think about, right? What are those possibilities? And if you have more that you want to call in, write it all down and then kind of look at it and pick the top 3 and start there. Because today, when you have those 3 things, these 3 exciting possibilities in your mind, it's a coming, baby. It's a coming. And so be mindful. Be paying attention and seeing the little synchronicities, because it doesn't mean, like, say, for instance, let me think. If you wanted to meet someone, let's say it was you were wanting to meet a new romantic partner. You were wanting that, right? And that was the thing you were wanting to call in. Well, if you're out and about and you have a conversation with someone, that doesn't mean that's your romantic partner. That may mean that person knows someone who knows someone who knows someone, and that's going to connect you, right? So it doesn't always mean that the answer to that possibility that you're wanting to call in is that conversation, that person, that event, but it may connect you with someone who knows someone who knows someone. So it's being open to, if that person's not it doesn't mean it didn't work. It means that that's the catalyst to get to that person. But if you didn't even have the conversation with this person, it wouldn't happen at all. So it's being open to, we don't know how it's going to show up, but we know it is. So tap into the knowing, right? So, what would it feel like to fully trust that everything unfolds today is happening for me? Feel it. How exciting is that? And list 3 exciting possibilities you want to call in and write about how you'd feel, not if, really, I should have changed that, when they arrive with ease, joy, and happiness. How delicious does that sound? All right, so I'm going to tap in real quick and go back to our affirmation. I am filled with joyful anticipation for the amazing adventures and limitless possibilities that are magnetically drawn to me today. I welcome them with an open heart and a curious spirit. And remember, put it on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, your sticky notes, put it on a note and stick it to the fridge. Put it somewhere that today you notice it, you internalize it, right? And then our journal prompt. What would it feel like to fully trust that everything unfolds today is happening for me? Hello, Heather. Nice to see you. List 3 exciting possibilities you'd love to call in and write about how you'd feel if they arrived with ease, joy, and happiness. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful day, right? 3 possibilities. And like I said, when you do this, you write as many as show up, right? If you've been wanting to call in a lot of stuff, write it all down and then pick your top 3 and then focus on them today. Because as I say so many times, there are 50 billion bits of information that come at us per second. But we cannot see all those things or we would go bonkers because everything is energy. So when, like, I'm sitting in my office and I can see things in my peripheral vision, right? And then there's stuff behind me that I can see in my screen, but I'm not connected with all of them. And I don't notice them all at the same time. The sounds are not all at the same time because I have this amazing brain, and you do too, that filters out what's not important, what's not important for us. So the same people in the same space do not see or hear the same things because of what is important to them. So what our brain does is it filters out everything except 2,000 bits of information per second. Now remember, 50,000 bits of information are coming from everywhere. Just imagine when you're outside and it's all the stuff, right? But you see 2,000 bits. Now that's a huge difference, right? And thank you, Heather. Yes. Ease, joy, and happiness. Yes. So your 2,000 bits are what you focus on depending on what your thoughts are about, whether you're remembering past hurts, whether you're remembering what happened last week that wasn't good, whatever it is. Like I share all the time, if you put 2 people in a moving vehicle and they're both looking out the same side on the same side of the road, one has a positive outlook in life and is always looking for the magic, and the other person is always having a downbeat feeling in life and always thinking everything's out to hurt me, I'm not good enough, all of those thoughts, right? They can be looking at the same side of the road, the exact same 50 billion bits of information, right? They're both getting them. And their brain is filtering out all but 2,000 bits, right? One of them, the upbeat person, will see the beautiful house, the exceptional flowers, the animal playing, the children playing. Maybe they just see the slide and all the little equipment. Maybe they notice some little bulbs of flowers coming up. The other person is going to notice that the gutters haven't been cleaned, that the shrubs haven't been trimmed. They're going to notice that some of the toys and everything that are out in the yard are kind of needing to be replaced. They may notice the dead bird on the side of the road. They're going to notice everything that reinforces their belief about the world. And so you get to decide what shows up in your 2000 bits. So what if today you're focused on this? The 3 exciting possibilities you want to call in, that's your focus. Are you going to be having so many beautiful bits of information that are coming at you that support that? Hell yeah, right? So you decide, what would it feel like to fully trust that everything is unfolding today and happening for you? List 3 exciting possibilities you'd love to call in, and more if you want. But pick 3. Focus on them just today, and then write about how you'd feel when, not just if, when they arrive with ease, joy, and happiness. What an amazing day for that to happen, right? It's Sunday. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's Sunday for me. I know because there are people in this group that are in different parts of the world that it's Monday for them. And so for me, it is Sunday. And to me, Sunday is the perfect day to really tap in and reflect on where you are. Let me see. Let me see what this says. I've been doing this type of work requiring my brain for many, many years. I'm a walking miracle. Yes, it's called paranoia, I think. Pronoia. Yes, yes. I think I need to clean my glasses again. My pleasure, Heather. My pleasure. And remember, guys, I put, if you haven't noticed it or you didn't get the notification, I created the event in the group for the, let me get my paper here so I can look. On April 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be having a journaling party, and it'll be live on Zoom, and it's going to be, no, it's your phone. It's going to be so much fun because I'm going to play some relaxing music. I'm going to give you some amazing journal prompts. And then we're going to spend a little time journaling, discussing, and just relaxing in to the space of making journaling really, really support your world. And we'll talk a little bit about the importance of journaling. And, if you don't want to call it journaling, if you want to just say, I'm just making a note of something, I'm writing down my thoughts. A lot of people get thrown off by the word journaling because that feels too rigid. There's a special place you do that. And there's a special, the content's supposed to be special. But journaling is so fun and so easy and really does help you get your thoughts out of your head onto the page, and changing that 2000 bits. I'm telling you, it's powerful stuff. So make sure, if you did not get the notification, look in the events section because I put it in there yesterday. And I know it's not till the 17th, but go ahead and say you're going to be there. And that way you'll get the notifications that it's coming up and when it's here and everything. And it will be on the 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern. So definitely, join me and join everyone else if you can. And also another reminder, starting the 1st, I'm only going to be doing scheduled journal affirmations and journal prompts on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because I've got so much cooking up for the group and for the clients that I have, that I just felt that that was the perfect thing for me to do. And I will say that I will probably be popping in on other days. I'm not promising, but if I do, make sure that there's a little link in the comments here that say you get notifications, where you sign up to get notifications every time I go live. And then that way, when I do go live, you will be notified, so that even though it's not scheduled, you will be able to catch it. And if you are able to at that moment, then you can pop on the live. So I'm going to be in the group a lot. I'm just tapping away from the actual scheduled events. So it's just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I will be putting a post up and I'll pin the post so that it has the schedule of what I'll be doing, because I'm changing the Monday time as well. Because Christine and I have the Hustle and Flow group that meets every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And so my normal live was 2 p.m. Eastern. So I had to get off that call, to get everything set up. And so I'm going to move its time a little bit so that I can be better prepared for you guys and enjoy the time with you and not rushing. And let's see, what else was it? I put a post up yesterday, and I did reach out to some people. But what I want to know is, what is it that you need from this group right now? What is in your heart that might need to be worked on a little bit? And that way I can schedule some content, some different guest experts, because I have some already scheduled for the month of April, and I'm looking to see what would be good to add to that. And I want to know what you really want to get out of being in this group. So you can either answer that post or you can send me a direct message. I've already gotten several messages from people. Thank you for getting back with me and sharing, because it's very, very helpful. And so let's see. Well, I guess that's it for today. You have an exciting day because you can. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow at, what is today? Today's Sunday. Okay. I almost forgot what day it is. So tomorrow I will be going live at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then it will change for next month. But so tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, and I love for you to give me some information about what you are looking for. And remember to go in and hit yes, I'm going, or maybe in the events group for the journaling, because it's going to be fun. All right. Love you guys.